Hi, I'm back to make the cover for our album. When I'm making my covers, I don't ever use my pattern paper to wrap my albums. I'll tell you why. It never fails. I use the pattern paper and then it tears and it rips. I don't know how some of these other ladies do it and they get it on so perfect, but mine cracks, tears every single time. I just cover mine in the cardstock that I'm using for the rest of the album. So here we've been using the craft cardstock, so I'm going to cover my album in the craft cardstock, and then when I want to go back, let me give you an idea, and want to do the cover, it's hard to see, but I've wrapped this one in the craft cardstock, but I just cut my paper, I mapped the front just as I would if it was a page, and for some reason it just, for me, it holds up better on the corners, everywhere. So this is what I do. I wrap every single one of my albums. So let's get started now. This is a big album, so we are going to have to use 3 12 by 12 sheets of your cardstock. What I'm going to do on the first one, I'm just using my 1/2-inch score tape. I'm going to put it along one of the edges. It won't matter what edge. Push that down. You're only going to need to do the score tape on your outer edge on 2 of them. Okay. With this being this big of an album, we are going to have a seam. There are going to be 2 seams. Unfortunately, because there was just nothing we could do to get away from it. So I'm going to go ahead. We've got this middle piece and this piece with our score tape. So let's take off the score tape from our first one. And then you have one here laying in the middle. Okay, and then you're going to line, I have to turn it so it's towards me. I'm going to line this up just to the edge of my score tape. Push that down. Okay, let's go ahead and take this one off. You know, I guess I could have put the score tape on each piece of paper. Sometimes I make things hard. I apologize. All right, so let's go ahead and match. Well, yeah, match this one up. One thing you want to make sure of is that you are going to have, see, and I got that off just a little bit. You're going to want to make sure you have that seam on the inside. Now, like I said, you can't really get score tape off, so I needed to straighten that up. It did tear my paper, but that's okay. I'm going to just stick another piece of score tape down. Tear it off at the top. And I've mentioned this before, and now this is paper crafts, so really you can't do much damage because you can always fix paper. So I have these 2 seams, and I have these 2 seams. Now I like actually the way they look on this outside better because I'm going to be able to do lace binding, bring my cover over even further so that it will cover it. So, you know, it doesn't matter. It's just kind of a preference. You decide. Now we're going to need, first of all, our spine piece. When I do these videos, as I mentioned, I'm showing you actually how I make them. So I don't do a lot of measuring and centering. I just eyeball it. You might want to measure it and get it exactly perfect. I don't. I do things kind of just different, I guess. So now on here, I do want to add just a hair more score tape. And on this piece, I do want to cover it. So let's go ahead and really push that down. I've noticed that this camera I'm using, it's my son's. He's let me borrow it to see if it works for us. The only thing is, it is cutting my videos off at about 7.5. So I will try and watch that, and then I will continue on. If not, it will have, well, you like you saw on that last video for the cover. Okay, just kind of eyeball it and then push it down. Now, one thing with this 10 by 10, we're not going to have a lot of room to work with. So you do want to make sure you are leaving enough room on the top and the bottom to fold it over. Now on this, we're going to have to move our paper down, and let's go ahead and grab our next album piece. Move it off the computer. So I'm going to, because I knew I had a little bit of a off piece there. So I'm going to just put it up close to the hinge. And I'm going to take my score tape. I'm going to go all around the outer portions of my album cover. You know what? I've seen some videos, and when they make their album covers, they cover them completely with their score tape. I won't do that. I think it's a waste of score tape. What I do, well, I just put maybe 3 pieces, especially with this size, in the middle. And I've never had any of them come up yet. I know there's always a first, but so far so good. So I would rather not use all my score tape up. I just loosen everything with my handy little pick here. I know there's a name for it for my Cricut, but I still haven't used it for the Cricut. It's wonderful for my score tape. They must have known we needed it. So let's take our pieces off. Now, let me make sure we're still in camera really well here. I'm going to make sure, oh, I did forget one thing. You need your 1/4 inch. And I do put a line of 1/4 inch down. I have found that this works really well for spacing. And then also when I'm putting my other paper on top, for some reason it just makes it adhere nicer. Okay. So we've got our 1/4 inch down, and I'm not going to take it off yet. So I do match it at the top and bottom to make sure we're pretty close. Might have to turn your board. It looks off because this is sitting up a little bit on my computer. Okay, let's push that down really good. And let's move on to our other piece. Let's get our 1/2 inch score tape again. I'm telling you, I'm right here at this desk, and I don't know how things can just hide on me. I lose everything. Okay. After you make, and you may not like using boxes to make your covers. I know some ladies will use even cereal boxes. I've tried the cereal boxes. I made a cute little smash type album for a granddaughter. It worked great for that. I have not had much luck with it, making it for covers. And I was buying the chipboard, but it does get expensive. And for some reason, our Michaels, they're not carrying the 10, 8 or 8.5 by 11 anymore. They're carrying it in single sheets, and it's not even as thick and sturdy as the other chipboard, or you can buy it on, of course, Amazon. So you want to make sure it's down good and tight. That piece wasn't. Let's just loosen everything up. And you will, like I said in the videos, you'll even see me using my score tape for matting. Okay, let's make sure we're pretty close. That edge is a little off. I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to move it over. And I'm going to push it down. This is one long album. Okay. We know that we've got an awful lot of paper left here. So this is where I take my ruler. And there's no hard and fast rule. You're going to want at least 2 inches on this edge. Some ladies like to go more. It really depends on the look you want. And some ladies want to have a lot. I go 2 inches. Cut that piece off. I'm turning it around to this other end. And I'm going to cut that piece off. Okay, we can put this away. Now, I'm just going to go along this edge. Oops, be careful not to do that and get in your box. Kind of make just little scoring. Marks. Okay. Now we're going to tape. On the inside, I am using my my 1/2 inch score tape. And I'm going to stop for a minute. And let's remove our 1/4 on the inside. Okay, and I'm going to cover all around with the score tape. Now, after I get these edges on, I am going to go ahead and stop the video, and I will have to start a new one for actually putting the cover on because we are at almost 12 minutes. So, I went ahead and put my 1/2 inch there. Now I'm going to take the 1/4 inch and I'm going to go all around the perimeter of the outside. So if you want to go ahead and put your score tape on the outside, that's where we'll pick up again, and I will have a new video, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye-bye.